While Czech dozed, Rahim cooled the drummer's neck and patted it dry with the tail of his shirt, rearranged Checker's collar, and finally stood at attention beside him like a bodyguard, eyeing Eaton occasionally as a potential assassin. The rest of the band quietly packed up and helped the waitress clear drinks. No one talked, but gently the acid dispersed from the room, the heat clanking up from the basement with a fresh burst of steam. Shyly, they found each other's picks and spare strings. Sweeping up, Caldwell decided that $50 wasn't very much money after all. J.K. realized that he'd only want to go to Jamaica if he could take Seal and the kid with him. The people who counted on you were burdens or assets, all depending on how you looked at them. Carl helped wash the dishes and noticed how the waitress managed to talk to him in a way that didn't demand he answer back, but still made him feel like part of a conversation. Wisps of childhood memories were still trailing through his mind, but he also recalled some other classmates. The girl with buck teeth, the little boy who smelled bad, who were tormented along with him. When he smiled at the waitress while she dried, she blushed. Howard felt liked. Rahim felt American. Rachel felt sad, but Rachel always felt sad. And in the quiet, steamy closure of the dark club, surrounded by the sound of Checker's breathing and the hollow expansion and contraction of the pipes below, Eaton Stryker had to leave. As Rahim walked him home, Checker wheeled his bicycle between them, the clicking of the back hub ticking off the moments in precise, perfect points like the stars overhead, bright from cold. Checker said, "I want to show you something." They detoured to a run-down industrial block of Astoria Boulevard. The sidewalk shook under their feet as they approached the building, whose sign said Vesuvius, nothing more. Directly in front, they heard a dull, ominous roar. Checker put his hands gently on the front door, like cracking a safe. It trembled under his fingertips. Putting his finger to his lips, he led Rahim down an alley and pointed to a small window. Rahim climbed a trash can to see. The pain buzzed in its frame. The glass tickled his hand. Here, the sound was louder, huge and ceaseless, like a lion that never inhaled. Through the muddy window, Rahim could see dimly inside, though he didn't understand what he was looking at. Fire framed a square of black like an eclipse. As he watched, the black square moved to the side, and a long stick plunged into pulsing vermilion. Lit only by this hellish glow, an unearthly woman pulled the rod from the fire. She was tall, which always unnerved Rahim in women. She wore a long industrial apron and dark glasses that flashed yellow when they caught the light. Her hair was tied back carelessly, but most of it was escaping. Cut jaggedly in different lengths, it was the hair that made this figure so amazing. Thick and wild, it raged from her head like black flames. Rahim felt he was witnessing some satanic worship service, with a lean, terrible shaman prodding a dangerous god. While he told himself she was only a woman, Rahim felt even at first glance that this one demanded a whole other word. Trying to rub the window cleaner, Rahim stood up on his toes and took a step closer. His foot missed, and he tumbled off the can. The barrel itself fell and made a terrific crash, for it seems the whole container was filled to the brim with bits of broken glass. Checker laughed softly and helped him up. Together, they began to throw the glass back in the barrel. "Shh, shh," said Checker, still laughing, when Rahim tossed a piece in the can and it smashed loudly, hitting bottom. It was hard to see, and grasping for hunks in the dark, Check exclaimed, "Jesus!" and pulled back. Rahim didn't have a chance to ask what had happened before he looked up to find a molten glob pointed menacingly at him on the end of a metal pole. "Move, and you're fried," said a voice. "A minute ago this lump was 2,400 degrees. It may be cooling fast, but it's still hot enough to turn your face into a pork chop." Rahim froze, crouching. Checker, despite the warning, stood up. The woman pointed a flashlight at Checker, like a second weapon. "What is that?" asked Checker.